Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Shib update today. A lot of speculations are that Shib still has to continue on and maybe try to go to 4,000 level before we don't really see Bitcoin dipping down or dumping down really hard. So Bitcoin is still doing a lot of things on its own. December is the last month of Q4. Q4 is a good season for crypto, so this is the last month. We still have hope, of course. That's what I'm trying to say, that since December has 18 days 19 days left, we could still see some positive progress in crypto until we don't see crypto start to retrace next year in January. So December is pretty much the place where the final pumps can happen before the market doesn't really start to correct to the downside. And I think that we haven't seen, as I said before, we haven't seen Shib doing much at the moment. Now, I did ended up going on and redrawing my patterns again, and I kind of noticed that Shib actually has a problem, actually has a very big problem on these prices, and that is this trend line right over here is a very big problem for Shib. You can see that previously this was where you started to get rejection, and then you went down, you got this rejection again, and that's where you actually did go down on the weekly time frame. So that again, it is playing another very heavy role on the weekly time frame. You can see this is where we're struggling to get above, and sooner or later in the future, I do believe we're going to go on and try to break to the upside. So scenario number one is that in December you actually break above and you continue on to probably 6,000 level, and this technical target is actually going to be up to 22,000. Okay, so if you do take the top to bottom for Shib, you can see that top to the bottom right there. If you place it out like this, then Shib is going to be moving up to 22,000. That's where the technical target is. And this one little bit of a pattern, this one right here, that actually kinds of take you all the way up to, you can see 10,000 and probably breaking the all-time high. So you got two target, 10,000 and then 22,000, one from the smaller pattern, one from the bigger pattern. Now, second scenario is, of course, the first scenario is that you actually end up breaking in December and then you start to pump and make the journey to the upside. Second scenario is you make the correction, you don't really pump up, and we probably could be looking at this trend line where I'm going to tell you the next best buying place for Shib is going to be, and that is if you do end up coming down to this trend line and you could touch 1698. So if Bitcoin decides to retrace to the downside, the next best buying area is going to be at 1710, and then you could consolidate until you don't really finally break above and then try to move higher and higher. But I really think that this time around it makes a lot of sense for Shib in December to kind of pump and at least move to 7,000 region, and then maybe fall down a little bit, retrace down, and then finally continue on to the upside. That would be the best scenario, to be honest with you. And on the daily time frame, I think we can see that the daily is having, number one, it's having a morning star. So you can see this is a bullish reversal candle at the moment, and then from that daily star we should be looking at further more movement to the upside. And then again, you've broken above here, you came down, you've also retested, you got that resistance there, resistance here, you broke to the upside, came down, you can see you turned it into support as well. So I think things are kind of positive on the daily, but the weekly is where we have the problem. The weekly still needs a massive push up again to go to the upside. The best thing is that there is a reversal pattern which is bullish, and that is this, you could actually say, left shoulder head here, and this tiny bit of a right shoulder that is getting printed out. That is very bullish, and it doesn't make sense to come down. So basically that means if you end up coming down to 2213, you pretty much go on and destroy this right shoulder, and when you destroy it, that's when you could actually dump all the way down to 1700 and then buy up again here, and then write another profit which can actually be nearly 85% in the future. So that's it for the video. I'm going to see you the next one. Love, peace.